Hello friends, welcome to Ansarkari. I am Vikas Bhardwaj. Today we are going to talk about what was India's relation with the outside world when we consider the time period till 8th century AD. When we say relation with the outside world, most importantly we are talking here about Southeast Asia. Indian culture propagated to Southeast Asia through merchants, traders, artisans. An important role was played by kings and their embassies also. For example, a Brahmin named Konindya is said to be responsible for establishing a kingdom in Cambodia. Cambodge, that's how we call it. He married local princess over there and persuaded her to adopt Indian mannerisms and customs, but not at the cost of local customs. That means local customs and traditions also thrived, and Indian tradition and culture and values, they also became integral part of their life. Similar is the case with Burma, Swarnabhumi, Java, Yavadvip and other regions. Most importantly, before Buddhism came into picture, it was Hinduism which was propagated. Till today's time, in countries like Thailand and other Southeast Asian countries, one can find Ramayana, Mahabharata and related legends which are integral part of life. One of the most important temples in Cambodia is Angkor Wat Temple, which is a dedicated example and a thriving symbol of Hindu cultural values and ancient legends and thoughts. Similarly, at Java, there is Borobudur Temple, which is another example. That means culture thrived. People were going on from India from all parts. For example, Jains migrated from Saurashtra, Tamilians migrated from Tamil Nadu, and other groups of people were also migrating. The contact between India and Southeast Asia have been very much positive, flourishing and harmonious. When Buddhism came into picture, Buddhist monasteries also became prominent. For example, in Burma, temple is called pagoda and it had its own distinct architectural style. Have a look at one of the pagodas. So that is why we can say that the India's contact with the outside world, especially Southeast Asia, was of this level. Trade and cultural relations with Rome and also with rest of the countries like Persia, Arabia, Iran, Iraq, they were reflected through long distance trade. Most importantly, both trade and migration continued. India as an open land always invited people to come here and become Indian. That means Indianness as a unique trait is reflected because of all this diversity. That is what we can say in context of Southeast Asia. But India's relation with China were also strong. Chinese travelers also came to India, many Indian travelers also went to China, and that is how Buddhism prospered. Another very important tool was Silk Route. Silk Route from China was going through Central Asia to the Western world. India also played a prominent role in this because silk was originally I should say exported, or it was going on from China to rest of the world. That is why it is called Silk Route. Similarly, when we are saying in context of Southeast Asia, Indian merchants were taking cotton and other stuff from here, and in return they were bringing spices from Southeast Asia, and those spices were further exported to Western world. So this cycle of interrelationship is very important to understand cultural values of India and of Southeast Asia. You are welcome for your doubts, feedbacks and comments. Do note important points and keep on learning relevant facts. Wishing you all the best.